All right. All right. So the Wright brothers had each other. Neil Armstrong had ground control. Steve had Woz. What this tells us is that individuals contribute, but teams make history. So this right here is something that is a metaphor for the modern day career path. This is people trying to get up into the Klondike in the gold rush. This is a single file, treacherous path that you're doing it by yourself, right? If you really think about it, every company has tons of resumes. They sort through them in arbitrary ways. They decide, hey, we're going to talk to these people. We're not going to talk to those people. We're going to use the college they went to or the last company they worked at as our general sorting method, right? This is how it works. But what they're really looking for is they're looking for a dream team, right? So all these companies today have set up engineering offices in our area, right? Every single one of these people is looking to make a dream team. They're trying to find people that will work together and, the whole will be greater than the sum of its parts. So this dream team is what everybody's looking for. Does everybody agree with this? Yeah. All right, so let's take a step back and think about the internet before Google. Remember when it was just a whole bunch of pages and maybe you'd go on Yahoo and if you were looking for shoes, you would go, all right, I'm going to go shopping, I'm going to go shoes, I'm going to go men's, and you just try to sort through the whole thing and none of it made any sense, right? Well, what did Google do? But they came along and they actually looked at how do these pages relate to one another, and they're able to start being able to sort this and say, okay, the page that has the highest ranking and the most reputable people are linking to it, well, that's probably the first page you're going to look for any given topic, right? Okay, now consider every person you've worked with in the past, right? You can think of some of the people that were great, some of the people that were not so great, some of the people that were absolutely awful and you don't ever want to see again at the supermarket, right? Okay, now imagine if everyone answered the question, who's the best person you've worked with in the past? Wow, you get a really interesting data set there, right? It's exactly like what you get with Google. You start to understand who the people are within any organization or even across multiple organizations, who the best people are to work with. And if you actually think about it, it's a really good sorting algorithm if you ask everybody because they're making the combination of who communicates well, who gets their work done, who follows through on promises, who's not creepy, right? These sorts of things. All right, so Elevator does just that. You come onto our platform, you can build a team, right? You could build a developer team. We've got tons of those. You could build a sales team. You could build your startup team. You could be like, okay, over the past 3 jobs I've had, these are the best people I've worked with that all do the same type of job as me. In my current role, I don't like my manager at all, and these 3 people, we all want to go together like tomorrow, right? You can do any of that. And ultimately, what we're trying to do is we're putting together your dream team. So right now, we have about 750 dream teams on our platform of over 2,200 people, and we are connecting them with all sorts of companies. I haven't updated this slide since the last one, but we've got about 75 really great companies. You can go to goelevator.com and check them all out. And you can make your team today. So you can add the people that are the best people you've worked with, and you can anonymously get introduced to companies that are looking for teams exactly like yours. So every single day we're getting new teams on, we're having phone calls with the people who we know that there are great opportunities for, and we're getting them anonymously introduced. So an anonymous profile goes to these companies, your boss won't know about it. They can say, hey, we're interested in this team, and then we'll say, hey, are you interested in talking with this company? And we make the introduction, that easy. So it's exactly like how the internet works today with the cloud. It used to be that IT people wanted to have their own servers at their own location, right? But what happened with the cloud? Now it's out there. We had to trust it to somebody else. The same thing's happening within HR. Right now, everybody wants to have their own system where they're able to bring understand who all of the employees are, understand what their resumes look like, and instead it looks like this. And instead what we're going to do is we're going to make this map of absolutely everybody, and we're going to find who the best people are, and we're going to help them find the best jobs. Any questions? Yes?
Some people work great with some teams, but are a disaster on other teams. How are
Sure.
you going to differentiate between these types of
So the great thing is this is how you find them in the first place, right? So if I said that I want to work with you, but you said that you didn't like working with me, that tells our algorithm something very different than if we both like to work with each other. So it's actually all of the people within it are in a way voting on it. It's a decentralized way to be able to say, hey, this person's great. Actually, somewhere between 40 and 60% of all hires happen through referrals. So this person said this person's great. Essentially what we're doing is we're taking your entire network of referrals and we're putting it out in front of you so that you can actually, use that as a sorting point. Was that good? No questions? Yeah.
So, like you said that a person will be popular if you have a lot of connections, right? What if a person doesn't have as many connections but is good in what they work in? Like maybe they have only one or two connections. What happens to those people?
Yeah, so at scale, like there are lots of problems that we're going to have to solve, right? But if you take somebody that is really good, saying, hey, this person's also good, we have better data than if you're just a resume in a pile, right? And so what we're able to do as all of these nodes start connecting is we're able to get better and better data. So sure, when you first start out with a website, it doesn't rank on Google yet, but over time as you work with more people, we start learning more and we're able to make those connections. Yes?
Permission marketing, or are these people knowing that they're being included on somebody's feed in your system?
Yeah, so what would happen is you would get on and you would say, hey, these are the people that I'd like to work with again. And they would get an email, and you can choose whether you want it to be anonymous or personal. If it's personal, it's a picture of you. They want to work with you again, yes or no. And you go onto the system and you get to say, I'd like to work with these other people as well. And so everybody is opting in, yes.
Love the idea of opening by employers and like this, but what about your current employer?
Hmm?
How do you sort of put yourself out there like, hey, I want to be hired without you bringing too much attention to that?
Exactly. So the first thing that you do is when you come onto the platform, you create an anonymized profile. This is different than your LinkedIn profile. This is a way of talking about your accomplishments without saying it was this company or personally identifiable information. And that way what we can do is when a company comes to us and says, hey, we need 3 developers that can match this set of skills because we're launching this new feature, then we can look through our whole thing and we can say, okay, here's 5 different teams that match that. Which ones would you like to talk to? They can look at them anonymously and say, would like to talk to these ones. You would hear back, this company wants to work with you, and you would say yes or no. So it's anonymous like Tinder. Yeah, what's up?
How does this swing introverts and extroverts?
So
Imagine extroverts would get a little more recommendation because they socialize more. So I imagine you'd have some really excellent introverts that would be great on a team, but might not get the recommendation. How does that happen?
yeah, so if you think about it compared to any other way of sorting people, this is actually a really good way because it's about strong relationships, not weak ones. So generally, extroverts have a whole bunch of weak relationships, but not as many strong ones where it's like, look, if I'm leaving here, this person's coming with me, right? And most people who are introverts have a few people that have really deep relationships. And actually the way that our algorithm looks at people is we can tell when everybody is connected to everybody. That's actually a stronger type of a team. Whereas there are other types of teams that are like a hub where there's one person that everybody wants to work with. And so what we've seen so far is a lot of introverts end up on teams that have really tight clusters.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.